Young and Trending is brought to you by the Bahamas Adventist Book and Nutrition Center, located on Tony Williams Starling Highway.
Hey guys, welcome to Young and Trending here on Word SBC 88.3 FM, where we aim to be bold, be true, and be heard. I'm Tyla.
And I'm Pastah Nassah.
And today, as usual, all our guests are special. But
every time.
we have a dynamic duo
Yay.
in studio with us today. Guys, introduce yourselves.
The girl sitting on the side of me is Katie. She's my younger sister. Bright and bubbly, loves to be active, solid master guide, biochem major, and just awesome and supportive, loving sister.
All right.
Okay, how am I going to top that? Okay, so the girl on the side of me is my older sister. Her name is Keturah. She's recently graduated from university. She loves the Lord, and she is a great big sister. And also very bubbly and very enthusiastic and very active. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, so the title of our show today is Turning the Pages, which alludes to the name of the Bible study that these two sisters started. And, you know, our show is all about young people, specifically young Christians, how we relate to everyday events, how we go through life, how we enter ministry as young people in this generation. And so it's going to be super interesting to hear what you guys have to say. How did you come up with this idea? How has it been so far? But first, a little bit about you guys. So you're both Seventh-day Adventists.
Correct.
You both grew up in the church. What was that like? Were you guys active? Did you guys go to the church school of the prophet?
I mean, yeah, we both graduated from the great
Hey, come on now.
Bahamas
Class
Academy.
of 2018.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yes, so Ty, my classmates.
Yes.
We go way back.
Yeah, started from the bottom, I guess. Now we're here.
Hey.
But if anybody knows our parents are very much all over the place, and they're very active. All over the place, meaning everyone knows them.
Yes.
Everyone knows them. So to say we voluntarily started probably in our teen years, but we were always in church and always doing something and always a part of some kind of ministry, always attending whatever the conference had going on. And I think we started choosing that when we developed our own individual relationships.
Yes.
It looks different for us too, because it looked different for me. I started maybe later, and then Katie kind of started a little earlier, but I'll let her.
I feel like I started very young because, like you were saying in that introduction you had, that I was very active. And I feel like it comes from our mom and dad putting us in stuff like that. Like Pathfinders, for example.
Yes.
We started, the first class.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's
Eager Beavers?
No.
No.
Little Lambs. I think so.
Busy bee.
The first of
No, the first one
adventures
is
to the
Little
last of what it was guide
Yeah.
from the beginning
Yeah,
to
so
the end.
we
And
were
Katie
there.
went to master guide.
Yeah.
I didn't see
So I kind of basically fell in love with Pathfinders. I loved being in it. I loved everything about it, and so I didn't want to leave. That's why I did Master Guide.
Listen.
Listen, she went
Katie
all
is
the
the
way.
poster
She
child for
is.
Master
She,
Guide, okay?
she the poster.
Like,
let me tell you about Katie.
yes.
Katie's the poster
Not too
child
much. Not
for,
too much.
for just Adventist
Youth.
When I tell
Yes.
you every other Friday night,
You're all
every
making
other
me blush,
Saturday,
guys.
Katylyn is there. Anyone who knows Katylyn is everywhere. So
Man,
Hey.
as a young person, you gotta be active. If you're
Yes.
if you're not in the church, then I mean, come on,
Where
you
are
got
you?
that's what she's saying.
Okay.
But like, I'm saying that because honestly, as a young person, if I'm not in the church, I'm somewhere else, and that somewhere else may not always be a positive
The
thing.
best
No,
place,
true,
right?
true.
So I decide to stay in the church, not because I don't want to like fall on the wayward side, but because I
You enjoy
truly,
it. Yeah.
genuinely like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, even back to that transition that I mentioned, for me, it was when I started to get serious, it was probably freshman year at college when I was alone and had to realize, okay, what are you doing outside of your parents?
Right.
But I remember coming home from school, like in the summer and stuff, and just seeing Caitlyn wake up. I'm talking like 7 on a Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
She's up doing her devotion and reading the Bible and listening to Doug. And I'm like, well, should I be too?
Maybe I should try that.
And Katie was like 15, 16 at this
Yes,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I shall lead them.
Yes, listen.
I would tell you, even
It's a struggle.
you have. Sometimes I watch your status, and I'm just
Yo, me?
like, I need to be doing.
They
Oh,
always tell
Caitlyn
me-
status? or
Caitlyn.
Yeah.
They always tell me about how it's so long.
Yeah,
and
she
I'm just
always
like,
posting everybody.
I can't miss
I don't
anything.
mean the
I mean-
longness, but it's very encouraging, and I guess like, oh, the kids are all right. Not that you're a kid,
Yeah.
but there's still young people out there. And
Yeah.
when I say young, I even mean like younger, like just leaving high school.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, geez, that just made me feel a little bit old.
Listen.
But who are serious about their relationship with God, and that's
Yeah.
not something that you see often, at least not that
Yeah, so
loudly. So I
commonly.
really do
Yeah.
applaud you for that, because
Yeah.
it is an inspiration.
Definitely.
Even for us little older.
Definitely.
It's a
Who was
work
just
in
like-
progress, definitely. it's not easy, and sometimes I don't wake up at 7:00.
No, sometimes she's sleeping. But you still do it, though, which is what I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
if
It's
I don't do
important.
it, if I don't do it in the morning, then I definitely try to do it throughout the day. But like I said before, I was talking that every day is perfect. But I do encourage everyone to do it. If it's like, the verse of the day they have on YouVersion,
Yeah.
that video,
Right.
or you have a plan, or like even, if you have my number, you watch my status, it's a devotional right there.
You can get about
is, yeah,
3 on
3.
Caitlyn.
There you go.
You gotta get about 3 devotions
Yeah,
on
you
Caitlyn's status.
Yes.
If you could pick, choose, and refuse what you want to watch, honestly.
You got options, eh?
I'm giving
Yeah.
you the
And they come in
content.
different accents too. She got the Jamaican one, the
Jamaican.
American.
Telling you.
I mean, it's the plug, honestly.
Very serious.
But I think what you guys just talked about brings out a super important point, because a lot of times for most young people, I'd say, who had that actual now they're really serious about it, is you did have that wake up moment, like, okay, if I profess to be a Christian, I can't just ride on the coattails of my parents. Like,
Yeah.
I have to find God for myself.
definitely.
Especially Adventists. Like, if you're
Yeah.
going to
Oh,
stay in
yeah.
this
You're ready
church,
special.
you-
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, for real.
you have to stand on what you believe for yourself, because as you get older and you're able to make more decisions and go your own way and drive hand and all that stuff, a lot of stuff starts to feel restrictive. And unless you're not, you fully believe that for yourself, it becomes very easy to just go the other way or just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So I think building that relationship for yourself is super important.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Even what Keturah was saying when she said how she went off to school, and going off to school is a different culture.
Boy,
you
let
meet
Yeah.
me
people
tell
and
you.
all that.
Let me tell
But
you.
and she came back home and she had her own little
Shave shifting.
whatever, right?
We'll
But-
get to that later.
But like for me, someone who hasn't experienced that as yet, I still had my why are you Adventist moment, you know?
Okay.
Oh, you be gonna do it too.
Yeah, like it was even before you though. I think for me, light bulb kind of came on during COVID. So it was like, bro, what am I doing?
That was
I
a rough time
hated
for a lot
COVID.
of
Ooh, I
Adventists.
hated COVID.
It was
A lot
rough
of
for
church
me.
people
I
in
did,
general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the point?
From going to church every Saturday to like staying inside, like, and then you have to go through Zoom, and it's like, I don't want to be here. I don't
even
want to
like
do
this.
this.
What's the point?
Or you sleeping, or
Yeah,
you
and then
know.
you get that conviction. Okay, you don't go to church now. This is like during COVID time. You can't go to church now, and then you have to find other ways that you can. I mean, kind of get. I don't want to say get your fill, but kind of do what you usually do, or kind of create your own method. So it was
Yeah.
definitely difficult.
Would you say that was your turning point?
I think that's mine. Hey, y'all, there's so much excitement, but
Would you
please,
say that's
don't
your
touch
turning
that
point?
dial. We're going to take a quick break and be right back.
Yeah.
Hey, and welcome back to Young and Trending here on Word SBC 88.3 FM, where we aim to be bold, be true, and be heard. I'm Pastah Nassah,
And I'm Tyla.
and today our topic is turning the pages with Caitlyn and Keturah. And
Yes, sir.
we have an exciting topic. We just got to know them a little bit better in the first segment. So now we want to dive into the meat of today's show, where we're going to talk about they started an online Bible study, and that's not something you see happen every day. So take us back to the beginning, to the Genesis. How did this idea for online youth Bible study come about, and even the name?
So back, I think earlier this year, I was at a place where I was saying, okay, Keturah, what are you doing? And being away from Centerville, which is my main church, being away from home and the activities that I do here, very involved here, going to the States and basically having to figure out, okay, what is life there?
Okay.
And what do I do there for ministry? I did nothing, and that bothered me.
Okay.
And
Why
I
did it
didn't,
bother you?
because I felt like I didn't really have a relationship with God because I wasn't actively doing anything for ministry or wasn't actively in the word at all, wasn't like just at a standstill basically. And I was talking to Katie about it because like I told you, KDV and devotions and all that type of stuff. So I was telling her I want to do something. Like I used to be doing stuff all the time. And I specifically want to do something with young people because I know a lot of times we don't have that platform where we could talk about things we actually care about or things that we're dealing with in the moment. So I said, we should study the Bible again. And she was like, yeah, that's cool. I was like, no, I want to do more. And I started asking my friends, like, certain conversations you feel are missing in church, what are those? And kind of getting ideas from them. And then I said, Caitlin, I want to study more of the Bible. And she was like, yeah, we could definitely do it. I was like, wait, we could do a Bible study. But because I was in the States and she was here, it obviously had to be virtual.
Right.
And then I was like, we can't just keep it to ourselves. We should get more people involved. And then we came through like a lot of names. I think it was like K and K and like some cringy stuff.
And you said absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
And then what do you do with a Bible? You turn the pages to learn. So that's kind of how we came up with turning the pages. And we was saying we don't always want to go on our phones and look up the Bible because there's going to come a time when we don't have access to electronics. And you have to pick up the word or at least turn the pages in your mind. And so
you also get a different feeling when you actually turn.
You do.
Yeah.
Physical Bibles hit different.
Yeah.
Especially for Bible study.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Bible study, right. So that was the whole point behind the name, I guess.
Yeah, coming up. And then we just came up with a Zoom link because we wanted to share it with others.
Yeah.
And that way we're able to, I don't know, jumpstart what we have going on now.
Okay. How long has it been going on now?
Since February 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah.
2023?
Of 2023.
Yeah.
Every Friday night.
We actually
Every other Friday night.
we were every
It's
2 weeks.
bi-weekly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
At 7 p.m.
Yeah.
And then we actually, our first meeting, we were actually apart because we were away for
Oh yeah, our brother got
brother's
married.
wedding, right? And we were
Gotcha.
in two different
With
countries. We were in two different countries, so I guess that was also why we turned to Zoom because we were like we wanted to do it together. But then you're over there and I'm over here.
Yeah.
True.
But yeah.
Okay. Take us through, I guess, like a format of the program. Like, what do you offer in this Bible study? Anything that might be a little unique or your own twist on Bible study? Because there's Bible study, but what do you guys do?
So we have like a list of topics that we got from having a conversation with a few other people our age and just in our age bracket. And what I told her was, even though I like to talk, anyone who knows me know I could talk forever, but I don't want to be the only one talking. I want to make sure we have a topic where people are interested, one,
Engaging.
and two, it can be engaging.
yes.
So we start off with a topic, like one topic we had was I'm going to go with temptation or the dangers of temptation.
Our
or
first
something
topic
like.
were the 4 types of love.
Oh yeah, love languages.
Yeah, love languages.
So we just did it like that. Love languages, Bible study. And you would be amazed how many people don't even know what love languages are.
Okay.
And I know, right?
Honestly, I didn't.
And that's really Katie didn't know either. So I was like, oh yeah, let's get into it.
Really learning something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So while teaching people that as well, we tied it in with, okay, God doesn't really have a love language. He's the author of love, so all of these come from
Embodiment of
him.
love,
Okay.
yes.
And in that,
We actually did find out. We said his love language was obedience.
yes, that's true. Yeah.
we found that
But
out.
even in obedience, right? Let's just say your love language is quality time and someone else's love language is words of affirmation or whatever. He doesn't want us to just stick to that and love people just because we receive it or we give it that way. You have to learn all five in a sense, especially in ministry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if someone is in need, that's where acts of service come in at your church. If someone needs a hug, that's where physical touch comes in. And these may not be your love languages, but these are things that
Oh,
you have to
come
tap
on.
into
Okay.
because, God is the author of love and he's telling us. And so we had
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
really
yeah.
big crowd and I could see like the wheels turning
Wheels
for
turning,
people. They were like,
They turned it to me,
what?
like, I have literally never thought of it like that before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love
so
that.
just different stuff like that, guilt and shame, and kind of the difference between that, because a lot of people, when talking about kind of correcting your behavior, like when you feel guilty, how people, especially in the church, can make you feel guilty for doing something wrong. And essentially, God does want us to feel guilty, but it's not a guilt that you stay in. That's where shame comes in. Shame is where you feel so bad you don't even want to change, whereas guilt is just that corrective factor that's saying, okay, I've done something wrong, I need to change it.
Gotcha.
And that's the difference between the God who gives us guilt, where we are able to be like, okay, I did something wrong and I want to fix it, and shame is where you dwell in it, and that's from the devil. And even that, a lot of people, especially Caitlin's friends, are very vocal in terms of what they learn. A lot of people are just like, wow, I never knew the difference.
That sounds. I mean, even like how you're presenting it. It's
Yeah.
like you're taking some unconventional approaches, but then you're
Right.
bringing the
So,
Bible to connect.
These
Mm-hmm.
big, daunting
Yes,
topics
yeah,
and,
and
like
that's-
ideas
yeah,
that we
man.
talk about and
That's-
just breaking them down to the level that
that's
makes
fascinating.
sense. Yes.
So along with doing this now, are there any challenges that you guys have experienced with now? You're leading a Bible study. People are looking to you, listening to you.
Yeah.
Have you encountered any challenges with now being in that position as a teacher or someone who's at least leading a group to search?
I mean, there's a lot of times when we have a session and someone asks me something and I genuinely don't know
Okay.
the answer.
Handle
And
that.
I mean, so we have, while me and Katie are the main hosts, we also have like people who are older than us and have a lot more experience, like our father,
Okay.
who has been an elder in the church since I was
All
a
your
baby.
life.
Yeah. And then our mother and like an uncle of ours too, who are just, they're always active and in the word and they've been teaching us.
Okay.
And so wherever I come short,
Okay.
they kind of step up and teach us, but
Right.
guide us. Like they don't take it away from us. They're just like, okay, well, this is where you find
Yeah,
it.
we call them spiritual advisors.
We call it, yeah, we call
Hey, you sound like
we titled him spiritual.
another radio show. We know the spiritual advisor.
What-
That's good though. I really love that too.
Yes.
Yeah, and not only do we have older people who contribute, but like I said, this Bible study is supposed to be engaging. So
Right.
anybody who has some insight can
Right.
come
Chime
and
in
share.
and-
Yeah, so it's not like, oh, you can't say anything. We
Yeah.
just-
Right.
yeah. It's if you have something to say, if you have like some insight or perspective that probably none of us have thought about, you can bring
Yes.
it, and we welcome it, and that's how discussion kind of sparks as well.
And I mean, that's the purpose of Bible study.
Yeah.
Right,
In
right,
its
right.
entirety.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, to bounce ideas off of each other, to let that light bulb moment
Iron
go
sharpen
off.
iron.
Yeah, iron
Yeah,
sharpens
Definitely.
iron.
Exactly.
I'm
Definitely.
telling you. Okay, so guys, don't touch that dial. Conversation is hot, but we'll be right back after this break.
Welcome back to Young and Trending here on Word SBC 88.3 FM. I'm Pastah Nassah,
And I'm Tyler.
and we got our two special guests, Katylyn and Keturah.
Hey,
And
hey.
we're talking about Turning the Pages, this online Bible study that they started in February of this year, where we are going to dive in a little bit deeper into how, the implications of young people being involved in leading other young people and older ones into studying the scriptures. I want to ask you guys, since you've started, have you discovered any change or transformation in your personal spiritual journey since you started now leading this search for truth deeper into the Bible?
Yeah, for me, I can say because we're the hosts of of this Bible study, and we are basically doing our research on it, and we're learning about it first.
Okay.
And then that's when we come and share our insight. So for me, because we're doing that, I had to stop and think, and I was like, okay, I'm learning this thing, and I'm telling other people, you should look at it
Okay.
This is what God says, and we should probably do it.
Okay.
But for me, who's advising people to do that, I'm like, am I doing this? Am I really taking this in? Am I not just, reading it, writing it on our script, and then telling other people to do it? And, it's like one ear, one in one ear,
out
and
the
out the
next.
next.
Right.
So I was like, for me, that's what I had to do. And it has changed me, I could say that, because now when we go through the different topics, I'm like, okay, what do I know about this? How do I implement the things that we are telling other people they should implement? And I also asked the question why, because in researching these topics, as young people, when we ask these questions, we're like, okay, other people are probably thinking the same thing. So when we do some research, when we have our questions, we kind of put that into the Bible study so that, answer some questions that they probably will have answers to.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's me.
For me, I've seen a lot of different things between my personal growth and just like, because there's a part of me that loves teaching or sharing with people.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there's a part of me that likes to learn as well. And so with teaching people, like I always like learning things. And I'm like, wow, I never thought about it this way. Have you ever thought about it this way? And just kind of bouncing ideas off of Katylyn.
Okay.
But for me, it like one of the main things that I've noticed is how God shows up. Why do I say that? So there are many times, there have been a lot of weeks where either Katylyn has a lot to do or I have a lot to do, or we really struggling with getting
we both
some.
have a lot to
Yeah,
do.
we both have a lot to do. Or some, like when we were away, apart from each other, we didn't even talk for the entire week. And now it's Thursday night and we have nothing, no program.
Yep.
We're still, and I'm freaking out and I'm like, whoa.
Very much slumber.
What are we going to tell? We've already posted a flyer. Like people are going to come. We're going to look so backwards, all this type of stuff. And I kid you not, we go there and we have that prayer within ourselves or together. And we just like, Lord, take it. It's been a week, but just allow us, just use us, allow your Holy Spirit to do the talking.
Makes sense.
When I tell you the program is better than we could ever imagine,
Yes.
literally after it, I remember one time we didn't have anything. We was just really struggling. And I was like, you know what, Katylyn, our PowerPoint was half done.
Unless it was the last one.
Yeah, no. I'm not. No, I'm for that. But we was just like, I was just like, what is going to happen? And after that, I was so amazed. I just sat back in my chair and stared. And I went outside and I was like, Katylyn. And she was like, I know. Like, we did not do that.
That's
we
the
did.
time when everybody got something to say.
Yeah, we did not do that. And people were talking and people were in the comments saying like how they were blessed and all that. And we were just like, not of our own strength.
Yeah,
that was
not us,
completely
but
God.
him, yes.
And that has happened so much times now where I'm not even afraid of not having anything anymore because it's above us at this point. It's beyond us.
Okay,
We're the mere instruments that are being used, but at the end of the day, God is showing up and showing out.
Yes.
And Katylyn always receives the end of people because she has a lot more friends that are more vocal about it.
Okay.
Truth be told. And they come to her and they're like, wow, this thing that you said or this verse that you guys, or even the song, because we try to include really good songs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she'll just be like, my friend is saying this. And I'm like, I don't remember saying that. Or I don't remember putting that in. Or I don't remember expressing it the way
really
that
like
it's coming
my friend.
off. And I'm just like, that's the Lord.
Wow.
And we just look back and we're like, okay, we have to understand the power it has and also be responsible in understanding that if you start something and you just leave it to God, it's gonna go off. It's gonna go where it's supposed to go. We shouldn't stress about it. We shouldn't worry about it. And at the same time, God gives us the ability to share with others. He uses our talents when we allow our talents to be used.
Yes.
And he makes it better than we could ever think it was. And so there were days when I'm like, man, Kayla, I don't know if we should do this next year. And then there are days when I'm like, we should definitely do this next year because it's just,
man.
it's above us, you know?
Honestly, it's not easy. Let's
It's
just say
not.
that.
Yeah.
It's not. Like we were saying, we have it every 2 weeks. And Keturah's out of school working. I'm in school working.
Trying to meet those
And
deadlines.
everything is coming at us every week. It's a different thing, and then we had it bi-weekly to be like, okay,
We could prepare
have
but
time.
somehow that week before the week that we have it. Listen, it's like where the time
And
go?
here we are,
All right.
Thursday night. What we get to
We up till like 11. Our dad screaming at us, go to bed.
yeah,
And we
but
just like, oh,
like we said, God works it out every time,
every single time.
and we're so thankful for it.
every single time.
Yeah.
So what would you say then to encourage someone who they're young, or could even be older, not really interested or not really as in depth in reading the Bible as they could be or should be? What would you say to encourage somebody to start or to get involved? They may not be ready to start a Bible study online,
Right.
but just to get the ball rolling. What would you say to that
Honestly,
person?
I would tell them find friends who have the same goal as you. Because for me, I'm someone, I'm not going to say I'm an extrovert or even a sociable person, but I really value my friends because we hold each other accountable. And even like when we were in COVID, and all of us were like, because all of us grew up in the church, so we were kind of thrown into this. Not like we didn't know what to do.
Right,
we grew up in the
right.
church. We get used to going to church every Saturday, and now we're at home. But then we would come together and be like, "Hey, do you guys want to do this?" And then they'd be like, "Yeah," and we'd be like, "Okay." And so we would just do these things together. So I would say to encourage you, just grab some friends and then start from there. Baby steps, definitely.
I definitely said our circle is a good thing
Yes.
because your friends influence you in
Yes.
some way.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, I make my own decisions. No, everybody in your life has some type of influence. For me, I just say do it.
Definitely.
Whatever you feel impressed to do it, and let God handle the rest.
Amen. Amen. This is so inspiring.
That's so
This
very.
reminds me of this Bible text in Hebrews chapter 10, verses 24 and 25 that says, "Let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." So
Yeah.
whether that's through Bible study, whether that's through praying with someone, whether that's through all different phases and facets of ministry, just start. Just do it.
Yep.
Get your friends, those who closest around you, and watch how God could do some amazing things.
Be the
Yes.
change you
will.
want to see.
He will do it. He will
Awesome.
do it.
Awesome.
Man, I want to thank you guys so much for
Oh,
coming on.
truly.
Happy to be here.
Thanks for having
I'm
us.
so happy
Truly.
that you guys were able to come on.
Definitely.
Is there anywhere very quickly that they can reach you or like see a flyer?
So they could see a lot of the postings on my Instagram, which is like _KXCYY, I believe, _. And then YouTube channel uploading, turning the pages.
Right.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
we'll update the description under this video
Yes.
when it airs.
Right.
When you guys get the YouTube channel. But thank you guys so much for coming on. You've been listening to Young and Trending here on Word SVC 88.3 FM, where we always aim to be bold, be true, and be heard. You can catch us every Tuesday from 6 to 6:30 with reruns on Wednesdays and Friday from 3:30 to 4. Also, we're on Rev Channel 988, as well as on social media on Facebook and Instagram at SVC Media Network. I'm Tyla,
And I'm Pastah Nassah.
and we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.
Young and Trending was brought to you by the Bahamas Adventist Book and Nutrition Center, located on Tonic Williams Darling Highway.